Hello and welcome to Total Football Analysis. Today we will take a closer look at the Champions League match between Liverpool and Napoli. Our tactical analysis will detail the flows of this epic clash between these two European heavyweights and illustrate the outcomes of both teams' tactics. We will also explain just how Napoli were able to contain this Liverpool attack that has looked almost unstoppable in recent seasons. More of the same typical Jürgen Klopp rotation saw Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jorginho Wijnaldum rested. In their places, Joe Gomez started at right back, whilst James Milner started in midfield. Left winger Lorenzo Insigne was replaced by the Polish international Piotr Zielinski. Carlo Ancelotti rolled his side out in a 4-4-2 formation, which opposed the 4-3-3 formation that Napoli had almost perfected under Maurizio Sarri. Napoli's 4-4-2 was primarily used as a defensive tactic against Liverpool's desire to commit large numbers of players to their attack. Napoli positioned themselves so deep within their own half when they didn't have the ball that even Mertens and Lozano were no more than 10 or so yards away from their own penalty area. Napoli's 4-4-2 placed more emphasis on compactness as opposed to pressing from the front. The strikers have fallen back into shape as opposed to putting pressure on Virgil van Dijk, who's in plenty of space. During the offensive phase of the game, however, this prevented any single Napoli striker from being isolated against Liverpool's centre-backs. Up against Virgil van Dijk and Dejan Lovren, any single attacker would struggle to have an impact on the game. Playing together though allowed Mertens and Lozano to play off each other's movements, and if at any point they could get the ball behind Liverpool's midfield, meant they could play in 2 vs 2 and 1 vs 1 scenarios. Napoli used Mertens and Lozano to attack the channels to exploit their pace against Liverpool's high line and physically strong centre-backs. This particular ball resulted in Napoli's only goal of the game. Napoli's style of attack also limited Liverpool's opportunities to take advantage of their side as they transitioned into attack. The Italian side took their opportunities on the ball to play it early into the channels for Mertens and Lozano to chase after. Not only did this give Napoli strikers a chance to use their pace and dribbling ability to beat the stronger Van Dijk and Lovren in 1 vs 1 scenarios, it also skipped over the midfield zones of the pitch, where Liverpool might have been able to press the away team into making mistakes on the ball in their own half. Both Henderson and Milner operated in interesting roles, considering their central midfield positions. The two Liverpool eights averaged occupying wider roles than is usual for most central midfielders. The Englishmen were used so as to create overloads down the flanks for their side, as Liverpool's main method of attack came from crossing. Both Henderson and Milner predominantly occupied wide positions in possession, and it wasn't unusual to see them in high up and aggressive wide positions like Henderson is in this example. This created large spaces in the center of the pitch, which Wijnaldum was responsible for protecting upon a turnover. At times, Milner and Henderson were even in the spaces you'd expected to have seen Andrew Robertson or Gomez in. This triple overload down the flanks of the pitch often ensured Liverpool could get at least one player in a position to deliver a cross into the box. What this meant, however, was that Liverpool's game didn't play to the strengths of their forward line or their system. None of Liverpool's front three are particularly known for their ability in the air, especially not when up against the physically imposing centre-back pairing of Manolas and Koulibaly. Liverpool's attacks down the flanks and the resulting crosses rarely tested Napoli. Liverpool's attackers aren't physically imposing in the air, and they are outnumbered by the defense in a 3 vs 4+1 situation, and Salah has dropped outside of the box in search of the ball. The wider positioning of the central midfielders as well as the triple overload on the sides also left Klopp's side in a weaker position to attack second balls on the edge of the area. With the lack of occupation in the center, this also removed Liverpool's ability to counterpress the ball effectively. In a game where Napoli were dodged in their determination to defend in their compact 4-4-2, the transitional phases of the game were imperative for Liverpool in how they could break this shape down. The home side also found it difficult to work any space for their wide men to do anything other than cross the ball into the box. In Milner and Henderson, Liverpool had a robust and serviceable midfield that had a specific role in this game. However, they lacked the dynamism and ball-carrying ability of Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Having no dribblers in the center of the pitch to attack and drive past Napoli's midfield pair meant that the center of the pitch was rarely threatened or challenged, meaning the entire defense didn't have to squeeze so tightly that they left space on the flanks for Salah and Mané to drive diagonally into the box. The lack of variation in Liverpool's attack meant that the Reds hardly ever attacked an unbalanced Napoli defense, and because of this, were only able to muster a relatively weak effort of 5 shots on target on the night. Napoli weren't exactly impressive in this game, but yet they were able to do what they needed to do in order to nullify the Liverpool attack and earn a goal of their own. Liverpool, on the other hand, are quietly regressing to a less dangerous side overall, and they will be worried about the condition of Fabinho going forward.